You know, a while back, I did a video on the Mantis X. And if you watch that video, I called it the amazing Mantis X, and you probably guessed that I'm pretty impressed with that little electronic device. This is it right here. Now, one of the things I had promised to do was to do a follow-up video on this one, looking at kind of a few months into its use, see if I'm still impressed, and I am. But that is not this video. I'm still going to do a follow-up later on. You know, I saw some videos of a new version of the Mantis X, and when I was watching those videos, I was like, God darn it, I wonder if they accept trade-ins. Well, lo and behold, they did offer a trade-in, and I ordered the new version of the Mantis X on a Thursday. They shipped it on a Friday, and today, Monday, it arrived. And this is the unboxing. Literally, opening it up right here and right now. This is the Mantis X10, the brand new, latest and greatest version of the Mantis X. Almost seems like it's boxed up like a cell phone. They call it the Mantis X Shooting Performance System. Got a card here, just like the other one. The quick start is to download the app. I've already done that. Attach the sensor to the firearm, and then open the app, make the connections, and away you go. Well, the box looks pretty darn similar. I can't tell the difference. Wow, it is much, much smaller. You can tell the difference now. Let me put both of them side by side so you can take a look. This is the original Mantis X. It's the charging port. Picatinny connector. And this is the new and improved Mantis X. Let's take a look at how they attach. And I'm using today this FNX 9mm pistol. This is the FNX 9. It is unloaded. That's a good test. If you're doing dry fire, make sure that you know it's on dry fire. Now, the original Mantis X would attach by simply removing this little screw right here, nothing much to it, sliding it onto the Picatinny, and this would be considered to have the Mantis X pointing forward. The rear is where the charging port is. We just line that up with the Picatinny, screw it down, there we go, and of course turn it on. There we go. Now let's take a look at the new one. Well, this is interesting. There is a little button right here that you depress, a little locking lever. You obviously drop that down, slide it onto the Picatinny, and release, and it's going to lock in place. Advantage of something like this, of course, is that you'll be able to swap them from one gun to another much faster than with the older system, although the older system was plenty fast enough, I think, anyway. Not a big problem. Once again, the rear is where the charging port is. We can get it started on the Picatinny. We can get it started on the Picatinny without depressing the button. There we go. Now I'm going to depress this button, or the lever, slide it on, and it's going to release and lock into place. Now, this doesn't move at all. I mean, there might have been a little bit of movement with the older version, but boy, this really does lock in solid. I'll tell you though, it's a little bit more putsy, I would say, to get this thing started on the Picatinny than the other one was. And that could be that, you know, over time, it might fit a little bit better later on. I don't know. Initially, it took a little bit of putzing, as you probably saw, to get it all aligned and started. Button to turn it on underneath. We have battery power. Don't know how long this is going to last, because as you saw, I just opened it up. I don't know how charged it is. But I'm going to go ahead and start up my mobile device, smartphone, get this thing connected up and see how it goes. All right, I've launched the Mantis X app. This is the exact same app that I used just a few days ago with the old version of the Mantis X. It works exactly the same, I bet. And I need to connect it. So the first thing I need to do is turn this thing back on. I turned it off just a bit ago. Now we're going to connect it. When you do the connection, you want to make sure everything's nice and stable. You're not moving around or moving any of these devices around. We got a nice green light that went solid once it made the connection. It's just a Bluetooth connection. And now we can look at all the different training options. I'm going to click on training, which was already selected for me. I don't think there's going to be any different training opportunities or training courses to do. I've already finished the Mantis X introduction and basic marksmanship, and let me tell you, I can't get through this FBI qualification. One of the reasons for that is not that I'm a terrible shot with a pistol, but one of the limitations, I will say, with this original Mantis X was its latency between shots. So some of the qualification steps ask you to fire, you know, X number of shots within X number of seconds. Let's say 4 or 5 shots in 3 seconds, something like that. And I can do that, but this didn't always pick it up. So then you would fail the FBI qualification. I talked to the folks at Mantis X, and they said they're working on improving that. I guess we'll find out if it's improved when we head out to the range. But let's do some dry fire practice right here. We're just going to open training. Now this is set right now for my Springfield Armory 1911. That's the pistol that I shoot a lot. I don't shoot this one quite so much, but we're going to go ahead and change it, that simple right there, to my FN Herstal FNX 9mm. I'm going to shoot right-handed. I don't know how that got changed over. I'm going to go dry fire. It is mounted in the forward direction, and it's located on the bottom of the pistol. That's all my settings that I need to worry about. I'm going to go back to training now. I'm going to double check that it says yes, dry fire right hand forward position FNX. Once again, this is unloaded. Okay, let's go ahead and give this a try. This is, of course, the Mantis X10. I'm in open training, and in this one I can shoot as many rounds as I want. Obviously it's all dry fire, and it's not timed. I'm just choosing a spot on the wall I'm going to go ahead and fire, dry fire.
9.5. 93.
And try a faster trigger squeeze.
88.
Right on. I drop this mag so I can rack it and fire a subsequent round a little faster. Interesting.
91. 10. 89.
Good. Now it's saying that I'm pushing. There's no follow through. Let's go ahead and see if we can fix that. Here we go, 97.7. Great shot. And I was particularly concentrating on pushing and making sure I had good follow through. In other words, I was trying not to push the gun as I was firing. I'm going to go ahead and stop the training now. Have an average score of 82. It says braking wrist up. Of course, some of those I was intentionally hurrying up. I got a shot in there that had a score of 10, which was related to cycling racking the slide there. So we can get rid of that or simply ignore it. Well, this is the Mantis X10. Mantis X10, brand new, just arrived. Looks pretty cool, just like the old one. I'm excited to give it a try out at the range and see how it has been improved above the original Mantis X. Quite an amazing device if you ask me, and I've certainly improved my shooting by using it, and I bet you probably will too. Thanks for watching.
$73.
Ooh, not so good.
$59. $70. $86.
More like it.
$73.
It worked. Well, there's the bullseye target. All the rounds in the 9 and 10 ring. This is from 7 yards. Round 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5.
$53. $90. $88. $77. $74.
The take-home message for me is a 1/3 of a second recovery time between each shot and about a 20-degree average muzzle rise. Now this, of course, is the 45 ACP.
$20. $56. $41.
Oh, I'm not getting too good a score.
$92.
That's more like it.
$86. $95.
Results from the 9mm are very interesting. I doubled my recovery time while cutting in half the muzzle rise. All right, now here comes the test I've really been waiting for. You'll remember, maybe from my past video or even earlier in this video, I talked about the fact that the old Mantis X had a little latency problem. In other words, it didn't record every round when you're firing it really quickly. This is the Mantis X10 now, and I'm really hoping that that problem has been fixed.
36, 46, 59.
Nice. It got all 5. I didn't shoot that well, but what I was trying to do is just kind of pump those rounds out and still stay on target. Let's try her again, squeezing this thing as fast as I could go. Okay, I'm calling out the big guns here. My son's a whole lot faster than me. He's going to shoot a 5-round burst using the Mantis X also on the shot timer. Shooter ready?
Ready.
We got 1 shot.